Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Majority of the cooperatives' money invested illegally in real estate and companies. 5 billion rupees of Shikhar cooperatives sent abroad. Chairperson of ruling CPN Unified Socialist Madhav Kumar Nepal attends the meeting of opposition parties. Congress President Dewar proposes for joint efforts to save the country from instability. Challenges all the more complicated in protecting the Everest from impacts of climate change. Native crops in the mountainous regions at brink of extinction. And Nepal's home match against the UAE shifted as Dakhlat Stadium is ineligible to host World Cup qualifiers. Match to be played in Saudi Arabia. Cooperatives have been found of investing deposits of daily wage workers and those with low income in fixed assets. Most of the 29 cooperatives under the investigative jurisdiction of the Parliamentary Probe Committee have been found of investing in fixed assets. Shiva Shikhar Multipurpose Cooperatives has been found of investing most of its funds on fixed assets. With 37 branches across the country, the cooperative has invested funds in land and 39 companies, which is illegal. Most of the departmental stores with investment from Shiva Shikhar are now closed. Instead of paying the loans of the cooperative from the revenue of the stores, the operators of the cooperatives deposited more than 5 billion rupees in foreign countries. Main operator Kedarnath Sharma and his eldest spouse are in police custody. Tulashi Cooperative, with its office in Viratnagar, also belongs to Sharma, with his youngest wife, its chairperson, who is at large. A total of 32,612 depositors at the cooperative have filed applications claiming the return of their deposits. Gautam Shri Multipurpose Cooperative was also found of purchasing house, land and hydro equipments. The cooperative has purchased hydro equipments of more than 1 billion rupees from India and China, which is against the law. With loan without collateral, the cooperative has also invested in the real estate sector. 1,551 depositors have demanded the return of 2,840 million rupees from Gautam Shri. Sudhir Basnet has shouldered the responsibility of Oriental, Kohinoor, Consumer, Pacific and Vegas cooperatives. In a statement given to the cooperatives management committee, Basnet has claimed that these were his cooperatives. A total of 4,735 depositors were swindled from these cooperatives, and they have demanded the return of 3,740 million rupees. Basnet has said that more than 15 billion rupees of the cooperative was invested in real estate sector. Kantipur Saving, Laliguras Multipurpose, Pashupati Saving, Luniva Multipurpose Cooperative, among others, have also been found of investing in the real estate sector with loan without collaterals. Luniva needs to return 90 million rupees and has a bad debt of 150 million. Kantipur Saving has purchased land in Jhapa and Kavri and had issued loans of more than 1 billion rupees to hospitals. Laliguras has also invested in land and agriculture with cow farms in Kavri and Chitwan. Meanwhile, funds from 8 cooperatives linked with Gitendra Babu Rai were invested in companies in illegal manners. Savings of thousands of depositors have been abused from these cooperatives. 53,385 depositors of 20 crisis-ridden cooperatives have demanded the return of their deposits, totaling around 35 billion rupees. In addition to these cooperatives, around 500 others have not been able to return the deposits. If we are to include them as well, hundreds of billions of rupees have been abused by cooperatives. In this scenario, it remains to be seen how the Parliamentary Probe Committee formed to investigate the fraud functions, what it produces, and whether the savings of the depositors would ever be returned. The Special Parliamentary Committee formed to probe into the cooperatives fraud case is preparing to call Home Minister Ravi Lamechhane for questioning if his involvement comes up during investigation, as he has been linked with Gorkha Media Network. Speaking with Kantipur News, Committee Chair Surya Thapa said the committee will work within the terms of reference agreed upon by major political parties, and that the committee will deliver within the set deadline and make recommendations to ensure victims are compensated for their lost savings and actions are taken against the faulty operators. Thapa also said investigation would be carried out on the cooperatives that have been linked with Gorkha Media Network. He also added the committee will begin preliminary works as it had already received the list of troubled cooperatives and those that have mishandled depositors' money. Thapa also said the committee will begin full operation once it is provided with the required office space and human resource and once it takes suggestions from legal experts. The 7-member committee was formed on Tuesday. It has 3 months' time to produce a report. A team of members and committee chair Thapa had met with Speaker Devraj Khimire earlier today regarding establishing an office and staff management. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked in several provinces what suggestions they have for the parliamentary committee that will probe into the cooperatives fraud case. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
सत्ता शक्ति र कसैको दबाव र प्रेसरमा नभइकन निष्पक्ष रूपमा छानबिन होस्।
ऋणीले ऋण तिरुन्, सहकारीमा बचतकर्ताहरूले चाहिँ आफ्नो बचत राम्रोसँग सुरक्षित छ भन्ने महसुस गर्नु।
जुन सहकारीको सञ्चालकमा बसेर सहकारीलाई अनियमितमा लानेछन् तिनीहरूलाई दुधको दुध पानीको पानी गरी छुट्याउनु पर्छ र असुल गर्नुपर्छ।
ऋण खाएकोले पनि तिर्नु पर्यो र अपचलन गरेका जो व्यक्तिहरू छन् अपचलन गरेको चाहिँ निष्पक्ष रूपमा छानबिन गरोस् र चाहिँ सहकारी पीडितहरूलाई चाहिँ राहत मिलोस्।
साच्चै ठगी गर्नेहरूलाई चाहिँ एउटा कानुनको दायरामा ल्याउन सकोस्,
निष्पक्ष छानबिन होस्।
जुन अहिले भेटिएका यथेष्ट प्रमाणहरू छन् ती प्रमाणको चाहिँ नष्ट नहुने गरी त्यसलाई आधार मानेर त्यसको अनुसन्धान गरेर दोषीमाथि कारबाही होस्।
यो पैसा बिस्तारै पनि भयो भने जसरी पनि यो पायो भने हामीले धेरै सजिलो र राम्रो हुन्छ।
आस्था सधैँ छ तर छानबिन हुन्छ कि हुँदैन सरकारप्रति अब
इमानदारी पूर्वक दोषीहरूलाई कारबाही गर्ने काम गर्नुहोस्।
भोलिका दिनमा कसैले पनि आर्थिक रूपमा यसरी सहकारी खोलेर कसैले पनि ठग्ने वातावरण नहोस्।
Moving on, CPN Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal was seen attending a meeting of the opposition parties, fueling the ongoing speculation of a change in the ruling equation. The meeting between opposition parties was held at Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Dewa's residence. At the meeting, they were proposed for unity to save the country from what he called political instability. The meeting was also attended by leaders from Janata Samajwadi Nepal and Loktantrik Samajwadi Party. According to Unified Socialist lawmaker Mit Mani Chaudhary, they were opined at the meeting that the works to save the country should begin from Madhesh province and gradually bring it to the centre, and he called for a new equation. Chaudhary said they were also called on the opposition parties and CPN Unified Socialist to stand firm as an alternate government. The meeting was also attended by Janata Samajwadi Nepal Chair Upendra Yadav, Loktantrik Samajwadi Chair Mahanta Thakur and leader Sarad Singh Bhandari, among others. The meeting comes as Madhesh Province Chief Minister Saroj Kumar Yadav prepares to take the floor test. The meeting also dwelt on saving the Madhesh Province government that is led by Janata Samajwadi. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we asked you what's your take on the inability to raise capital expenditure compared to the overall budget. 49% voted for option A, increase in administrative costs, 16% for B, added social security burden, and 13.5% for C, lack of capacity to spend. And here's today's question. Why have those issued arrest warrant against for their alleged involvement in the irregularities related to land of Bal Mandir still not been held? Your options are A, home administration unwilling, B, political influence, and C, investigation underway. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Chairperson of Kantipur Media Group, Kailash Siroya, has been released from police custody. He was arrested on 21st of May for publishing news on the involvement of Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane in cooperatives fraud case. Siroya was released by the Lalitpur Police after approval from the Office of District Attorney Dhanusha and District Police Office Dhanusha. Siroya was remanded in custody 3 times for a total of 9 days, and the Office of the Government Attorney had allowed his release considering the available facts, evidence and the weight of the allegation. During the investigation, it had been asserted that the errors in Siroya's citizenship could be addressed by the administration itself, and there were not adequate evidence to impose fines, jail terms or penalties. The decision was announced by Joint Attorney at the Dhanusha District Office, Sudeep Dangal. Siroya had been admitted to the hospital on 24th of May while in custody after reporting high blood pressure, fluctuations in his heartbeat and headaches. He was then referred to Medicity Hospital in Lalitpur from Janakpur's Kavya Hospital. He was admitted at the coronary care unit at Medicity yesterday. Now, 71 years have been completed since the first successful Everest expedition. More than 8,000 have reached the top of the Mount Everest since 1953. While the interest for reaching the peak of Mount Everest has been increasing, the impact of climate change has also risen at our mountains. 71 years have passed since Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Sherpa reached the top of Mount Everest. International Everest Day was observed today to mark the successful expedition. Any development at Everest instantly draws global attention. While the attraction to climb Everest has increased in recent time, the mountains of Nepal are facing severe risks. Only 3,185 had reached the top of Mount Everest in 6 decades of expedition until 2009. However, the number has increased drastically since 2010. More than 8,000 have reached the peak of Mount Everest so far. The highest number of mountaineers reaching the Mount Everest in a single year was in 2023 at 478. A total of 421 have already achieved the feat so far this year. The government has not been able to formulate laws to control the crowd of mountaineers at Everest and to protect the mountains. Adventure tourism began in Nepal after 1950. Everest contributes 65% of income generated from mountaineering expeditions in Nepal. 1 billion rupees was generated in 2023 from expeditions, while more than 600 million rupees has been collected in revenue from 421 permits issued so far this year. Foreigners are required to pay $11,000 to climb Mount Everest, while the government has made preparations to increase the amount from next year. 5 mountaineers have died during their Everest expedition so far, while 3 are still missing. Now, buckwheat, barley and potatoes, among other traditional cash crops, used to be cultivated and harvested in the Khumbu region of Solukhumbu until a decade ago. However, the harvest of such cash crops have declined in recent time due to change in weather patterns in the mountainous region. Farmers have stopped cultivating buckwheat and barley, while potato harvest has also declined.
Khumbu used to be covered with barley during this season a few years ago. Locals used to consume traditional food made out of barley, popularly known as sattu and dhino. However, the fields are barren at the moment as farmers have abandoned the cultivation of barley and buckwheat. Majority of the fields in the mountainous region of Khumbu do not have irrigation facility. The snow that remains on the surface for a long time had been an alternative to irrigation. However, snowfall in the mountainous region has decreased in recent time. The harvest of potatoes has also decreased compared to previous years. Residents of Khumbu region operate hotels during the mountaineering season. This is also a seasonal source of income. Apart from hotel business, they rely on agriculture, while this also depends on the weather conditions. The agriculture occupation of the residents of the mountainous region has been gravely affected by the effects of climate change.
It is time now for another short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's time now for Sports Update.
Sports News.
Nepal men's national football team's home match against UAE under the joint qualifiers for the FIFA World Cup 2026 and AFC Asian Cup 2027 has been shifted to Saudi Arabia. The Group H match between the two nations, slated for 6th of June, was previously slated to be played at the Dasrat Stadium. However, after the Asian Football Confederation found the Dasrat Stadium ineligible to host World Cup qualifiers, Nepal will now have to play the home match in Saudi Arabia. AFC had termed the playing conditions and the security management of the stadium poor and had corresponded with the All Nepal Football Association to find a neutral venue. Nepal will now face the UAE at 9:45 p.m. Nepal time on 6th of June at the Prince Mohammed bin Fahad Stadium in Dammam of Saudi Arabia. Prior to this, the AFC had raised questions regarding the status of floodlights, security and playing conditions at the Dashrath Stadium. Team Nepal also had to play their home match against Bahrain in Bahrain. Meanwhile, having lost all 4 of their group stage matches, Nepal's hopes of progressing to the next round have already ended. Following their match against the UAE, Team Nepal will play Yemen on 11th of June, also in Saudi Arabia. All Nepal Football Association has called the Nepal women's national football team for training. Head coach of the women's team, Rajendra Tamang, has called a 30-member team for training at Anfa Complex in Saddobato. Team Nepal are soon to play a friendly in Lebanon. According to Anfa, schedule of the match has not been made public as there could be more matches in Lebanon. Tamang has called goalkeepers Angela Tumbapo Subba, who is also the captain, alongside Anjana Rana Magar, Usha Nath and Sushila Kumari Chaudhary. The preliminary squad includes defenders Amrita Jaisi, Geeta Rana, Hira Kumari Bhujel, Bimala Vishwakarma, Nisha Thokar, Samiksha Ghimire, Pooja Rana, Sabina Chaudhary and Ganga Gurung, alongside midfielders Anita Basnet, Amisha Karki, Anita Keshi, Preeti Rai, Deepa Shahi, Bimala Chaudhary, Chandra Bhandari, Saraswati Hamal, Renuka Nagarkoti, Saru Limbu, Manamaya Damai and Tulasa Bohora. Forwards in the team are Sabitra Bhandari, Rekha Podil, Rashmi Kumari Kissing, Sabita Rana Magar and Mamata Pun. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.